Sorry. Okay. Good morning, all, once again. So yesterday we were talking about the design principles of an artificial neural network, and there are four design principles of the artificial neural network. The very first design principle, let me just give a refresh or a revise of the first design principle. We know that the neural network is based upon the human brain concept. So the main logic was being imparted and considered. So a neuron, we know that it's a basic processing unit of information of the network, and it's a processing element also, we call it as. This processing element receives the input from the preceding neuron and does some kind of a computation on the basis of those inputs what it is being received by the predecessor or preceding neuron, and transforms the results, and finally the results are being passed on to the output of the next neuron in the network, So in this way, as I mentioned, there could be n number of inputs, that is x number of inputs. Mathematically, we represent it as x is nothing but inputs, w's are nothing but weights for each input, and y is the output. So yesterday we have discussed about the first design principle, and we have seen as per the generalized artificial neural network model. So inputs are being given to the artificial neural network, and the resultant outputs will be given out from the y. So y is your output, x is your input, and w1, w2, w3, w4, etc. or the weights which are being used for the non-linear weighted computations, which are supposed to be done it on the received input from the preceding neuron or preceding element, we call it as. So let us discuss the second design principle for today, that is the second, third, fourth. Okay. And in second design principle, actually, so we know that network means it's not one element. So it will be having n number of nodes. So which we have already learned in normal networking concept or computer networks course. Okay. So here in the same way, the neural network is also a multi-layered model. The neural network is also a multi-layered model. So there is at least one input neuron and one output neuron. Please understand, there is at least one input neuron and one output neuron, and at least one processing neuron. So you need to have at least one input neuron, one processing neuron, and one output neuron. And an artificial neural network is just a basic structure, so which is a very simplest structure and a simple and single stage computation block, we can call it as. So which is having a simple task of processing just one neuron, and one result will be maybe or will be communicated to the other neuron. So however, when we say that it's a multi-layered model, okay, so we need to have multiple layers of processing of elements in the sequence. So in the design principle one, we have seen only one sequence or one complete processing unit, because we had only one input neuron and output neuron and processing which is happening in terms of transformations or summarizations. But when I say multi-layered, means you must have a multiple layers of processing elements in the sequence. So this is one thing which is added in the design principle 2. And the artificial neural networks have multiple layers of processing elements in the sequence, and there could be many neurons. It will not have like at least one. Okay, so it will have many neurons which are being involved in the sequence, that will be depending or based on the complexity of the prediction, what we are supposed to handle it in the system. So the layers of this preceding element, we call it as PEs, could also work in the sequence, or it could also work in the parallel. So this is about the design principle too. So there is no diagrammatic representation done for this particular principle. Okay, so just we need to understand. I'll just give you the repetitive the logic back of the design principle too. So since the neural network is a multi-layered model, so we must have at least one input neuron, one output neuron, and at least one processing neuron. Okay, so this is the concept or the logic back of the neural network. Then this artificial neural network is not just the basic structure. It is not going to work on only one thing, because it's a network based. And we already said that it is a neural network which is a multi-layered model. So when I say multi-layered model, it's the network which is very simple, very easy to process. And this particular simple task can be processed by one neuron and resulting may be communicated to the another neuron. Since the multi layers of processing elements are to be considered, so it can be considered to happen in a sequential manner or in a parallel manner. And the complexities will be defined or derived based upon the kind of the prediction action we are trying to process it in the model. So this will be decided and given in the design principle 2 of an artificial neural network. Then the third design principle. Okay, so what is this third design principle which is helping us to do? So we can have a diagram which is being given in the slide also. So this is the design principle 3, wherein the complete model is not having one node. So you can have n number of neurons there, because you can see 6 total blocks, and it is a model for a multi-layer artificial neural network. So it is a multi-layer artificial neural networks, and there are 3 stages which are being given. We know obviously input layer is the first one, which is coming from left hand side. An outside arrow which is going out is an output neuron layer, but in between there is a layer called as hidden layer also. Hidden layer also. So the processing logic of this particular each neuron may be assigned with a different weights to the various input streams or various incoming input streams towards the neurons. So we can make an observation there. X1, X2, X3, X4 are the inputs, and there are the weights are being assigned to each of the input: W111, W121, W122, W123, W124, W112, W113, W114. So something like that. So the processing logic may also use a non-linear transformation, okay, such as any kind of sigma based functionalities, or it can be processed all the values to the output value or output layer. Okay, so this processing logic and the interface between the intermediate weights and the processing functionalities are just exactly making the artificial neural network system to work as a one system or as a whole. So in this particular diagram, we can see that the main objective of solving the problem complexity in a collective manner, like complete network is given. So you can see that the neural networks are being considered as a black box system. So it is going to take and process it and give it to it. So where it is processing which particular neuron, so that depends on the kind of the prediction what we are trying to do and the kind of the complexity of the problem we are trying to take it and bring it to the action. So this is about the design principle 3. The last design principle is the fourth one. Okay, neural network can be trained. So we can train our neural network model by making a very simple decisions over and over with many training cases. The training data are training cases. We can do it in a very easy way. It can be trained by making the similar and simpler decisions over and over again with many training cases. And this particular model will also, the logic will also continue to learn by adjusting some kind of its internal computations and communication based on the feedback, what it is going to get it from the previous decisions. Means, see, your W21, what it is coming, okay, as an outcome from the neuron 1 in the picture 3. So that will act as an input to your neuron 2-1, neuron 2-2, neuron 2-3. You can make an observation there. Okay, so the outcome of the neuron 1-1, outcome of the neuron 1-2 in the extreme left hand side as a input layer. So those outputs will act like an input to your hidden layer. Okay, so it will get the feedback. So it will learn by adjusting the internal computations and all the communications based on the feedback, what it is going to get it from the previous decisions made by the previous stage. So that's what we can conclude here as a design principle. Means neural networks become very much better at making the decision, which can handle more and more kind of a decisions or decision evaluation process. So these are the 4 principles of artificial neural network, but depends upon the nature of the problem what we are trying to solve, depends upon the availability of the good training data. Okay, so the neural network will learn enough to start its process and completes its process for the better and matching the predictive accuracy of a human expert. So in many applications or practical scenarios, so the predictions of artificial neural network will be always done it on a long run, means for a longer period of time with a good number of trained data, means a more number of trained data, and actually more accurate results than the human experts. It can be derived by the artificial neural network models. So artificial neural networks to be very seriously considered as one of the important model in any kind of a realistic situations in the real-time applications so far. So it's one of the best model for the predictive analysis. So this is about the 4 design principles of the artificial neural network. So the next topic is, how do we do the representation of a neural network? How do we do the representation of the neural network? So what is this representation, ma'am? Anyway, it is a network. We know that it's a neural network, which is nothing but the series of neurons which will be there in our network model, and it will be receiving the inputs from the other neurons, and it is getting processed, and the processed output will be passed to the next neuron. So we know this, but still they do a weighted summation function of all the inputs, which in the previous slide you might have observed. So summation will happen from all the weights what it has been received from n number of inputs in a single artificial neuron, and even in the multi-layered also we can see the same kind of a structure. So they do a weighted summarization function or summation of all the inputs using the different weights. It's not the same weight. In the first picture 8.2 figure, you can see that W1, W2, W3, W4, and in the picture 8.3 you can see W11, W12, W113, W114, W121, W122, W123, W124. Okay, so they do a weighted summation of all the inputs using the different weights, okay, for each input, and the complete summation of the weight is then transformed into a output that will be processed inside the neuron, and that output will be done transformed, and it will be transferred through a transfer function to the next neuron. So learning an artificial neural network normally helps us when various processing elements are there in a model, and we need to adjust the relationship among the all the neurons in terms of the weights and the transfer functions, etc. So between the input and output, we need to do this. So in response to this, even the feedback is so important. It plays major role, okay, on their predictions. And if the predictions are made was very much correct predictions, then the weights would remain the same for the next prediction, or the other way also. So this is true. So other way means if the predictions were incorrect or was incorrect, then the parameter values would change. Your weight values or transformer function values would change. So similarly, this transformation or transfer function, what we call it as, is a function. Okay, so there is a function which is there as a one block, no, summation and transformation. So this transformation or transfer function, okay, is any function which is being very much suitable for any kind of a task what we are trying to handle it at that particular moment. So this transfer function for artificial neural network is usually a sigma function, usually a nonlinear sigmoid or a sigma function. And if the normalized computed value is less than whatever we compute it as a transfer value, if it is less than some of the value, then the output will be 0. Okay, so if we assume that 0.5 is the value and it is less than some value like 0.5, so then the output will be 0. And if the computed value of your transformer function or transformation function is at the cutoff threshold, then we conclude it as our output value will be 1. Then if the transformer function could be a non-linear hyperbolic function, so then obviously the output is either -1 or 1, but many other functionalities could also be given or designed for this kind of a processing elements in the artificial neural network model. So every processing in this complete artificial neural network, so every processing element will be having a potential, one neuron will have one kind of a potential which is not similar kind of a potential will be there for the another neuron. So it will be always different for the different number of input values and different set of weights for those inputs, and the different transformation function outputs also going to vary. So those values normally will help us to compensate that the neural network as a whole learning process or learning system to provide the better and correct outcomes as desired by the end user. So this is about the representation process or the representation of an artificial neural network or neural network is about. Then architecting a neural network, because I was talking to you classification, clustering, right? Artificial neural network applications in terms of association rule mining also, and even the regression also, isn't it? So an artificial neural network architecture can be used for different kind of applications. The applications could be a clustering or classification, or it could be regression, or it could be an association rule mining application, or even it could be something with relevant to clustering. Okay, classification, clustering, regression, association. So in this regard, okay, the architecting a neural network, okay, so there are many ways to architect, there are many ways to design the functioning of the artificial neural network. So when I say there are many functionings of an artificial neural network, means very simple one we normally choose it, isn't it? Using a very fairly simple process, simple model, or a simple rule with a lot of amounts of flexibility at that particular instance. So the most popular architecture is a feed forward architecture, multi-layered perception with a backpropagation learning algorithm. So means to say that if it is a single layer, a single neuron, feed forward is fine for us. But when we're talking about the design principle 3, so since it is a multi-layered model, so we will have multiple layers of neurons, and it can process either sequentially or parallelly also. So in the model. So means to say that there are multiple layers of preceding elements or processing elements. So when we are going to have multiple layers of processing element in a system, then the output of the neurons are fed forward to the processing elements in the next layers. So input layer to hidden layer to output layer. So this also we have seen here very much in the design principle and the kind of the structure which is being defined. Okay, so this particular thing needs what? The feedback on the prediction will be taken from the input layer, and the outputs of the input layer will be fed as giving the feedback, and form feed or forward feed which will be happening to the next processing element in the network. So that is next neuron. So what I want to say is finally, so this is very much essential, what we have been discussed in the representation, what we have discussed in decision principle for artificial neural network, and even we have discussed about the applications also. So in that regard, the artificial neural network architectures can be used for different applications, which have been very much given in a simple tabular format here. So the artificial neural network architectures can be used for the classification applications, regression applications, clustering applications, association rule mining. And in classification, what it happens, the feed forward network. Okay. So feed forward network will be considered radial basis function and the probabilistic. So we will be learning this elaboratively, so don't worry too much on it. And feed forward networks which have been done it in the regression. So clustering and adaptive resonance theory and even SOM, that is self-organizing maps, will be done. So association rule mining also, Hopfield network he says. So we are going to learn thoroughly in depth of association rule mining in the next consecutive topic. So this is about the architecting a neural network. Okay. So next, how can we develop an artificial neural network? How can we develop or developing an artificial neural network? What are the guidelines or what are the steps involved in learning or designing or constructing an artificial neural network? See, we know already it takes resources, it need input, obviously. So it takes the resources as an input or a training data. And we need to have a skill and time to develop the neural network. It cannot be done it like a plus b is equal to c. So 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. And I can take a is equal to 10, b is equal to 10, c is equal to a plus b, print a. Sorry, print c. It cannot be done like that. So we need to have a training data, we need to have skilled system and skilled people, and we need to have allocated the time to develop the neural network, an artificial neural network. So most of the data mining processes or data mining platforms offer at least one MLP, that is multi-layer perceptron. Okay, MLP stands for multi-layer perceptron algorithm, which is helping us to implement this artificial neural network. So I'll repeat. So most of the data mining platforms offers at least one MLP. So at least the MLP algorithm, that is multi-layer perceptron algorithm, which is helping us to develop, that is implement a neural network. And even other neural network architectures include a lot of networks relevant to probabilistic networks and self-organizing feature maps. Okay, so there are a lot of steps to be required to use it to build the artificial neural network. Okay, so let us quickly see what are the steps required. Okay, so in terms of developing an artificial neural network. Okay, so let us quickly discuss those steps. There are actually 9 very simple steps. It's like a small pseudocode and an algorithm, what we write it to solve a problem. No, in the same fashion, we got the steps which are very much required for us to build an artificial neural network. So very first step is gathering the data. That is obviously required because we need to have the input. So gather the input means gather the resources, that is gather data. Then after gathering the data, we need to train the data. So that is divide this gathered data into training data and the test data. So we need to classify that. So after classification, the training data requires to be further divided into training data and validation data. So this is the first step to be followed. So let me check that. Okay, I have given this very much. So these are the 9 steps which are required for us to build the artificial neural network. So gather the data, dividing the resources, that is inputs resource or input source data into training data and the test data. So then the training data needs to be further divided into training data as well as validation data. The second one is select the network architecture such as feed forward network, and we need to apply an algorithm. So while applying the algorithm, we select the algorithm, as I said, multi-layer perceptron. So MLP will be used since most of the data mining platforms offers this at least MLP to be there to help us to design and develop and implement the artificial neural networks, which is step number 3. Then after selecting the algorithm as MLP, so we need to set the network parameters as step number 4. After setting the network parameters, so we need to train the model, that is we need to train the neural network with the training data. Then after training the training data in the artificial neural network, so we need to validate the model and with the validation of the data. So validate the model with validation data. So then the step number 7 is we need to freeze the weights and other parameters. We need to freeze the weights and other parameters and test the trained network with the tested data. And finally, we deploy the model, that is the artificial neural network. When it achieves the good predictive accuracy, so then we try to deploy it. So how the artificial neural network training data sets are being considered, because there are categories, we could hear the technical terms. Training data in the first step itself, isn't it? Then validation set. Here somewhere we get validation data, we get validation set, we get. Similarly, testing set also we get, and we get even the one more thing called as the training data set, k-fold cross validation data. So that is given here. So the training and artificial neural network requires the training data to split into 3 parts. So that is training set, validation set, testing set as the 3. Okay. So that this data set is used to adjust the weights on the neural network, that is training data, approximately 60%. And the next part, the split, I mean the training data which has been split into second part called as validation set. So this validation set is the data set which has been used to minimize the overfitting and verifying the accuracy approximately 20%. The another 20% is testing. The data set is used only when the only for the testing the final solution in order to confirm and say that actual predictive powers of the network. So then the model will be ready to deploy it. Okay. So this is about the ANN training data sets. Then the topic is, means then once we are done with it, so what are the pros and cons of this model as artificial neural network as a model or a system in the data mining process? Obviously, every system will have a pros and cons, means advantages and disadvantages of using this kind of a model. So similarly, even we do have what advantages and disadvantages of using artificial neural networks. And there are many benefits of using this artificial neural networks, no doubt about it. But still, a very few we can list it out, as we have done it even for decision trees, as we have discussed for regression model, as we have discussed for data visualization techniques, as we have also listed for BIDM, data mart, data warehousing, a lot of things we have done it. So there are a lot of advantages. It's not like one or two. So a lot of advantages, but very few we are going to list it out, or we are going to discuss it here. So artificial neural networks, okay, so impose a very little restriction on their use, very little restriction on their use. And the artificial neural networks normally deals with highly nonlinear relationship informations. So without much work required for an analyst or a user, from the user or from the analyst. So because of this, you can have one of the advantage. So second is there is no need to program. So here nowhere we saw that writing the program so much of code. Okay, so no need to program the model. Okay, as they learn from the example, because they get the input, they get the feedback, so they learn and they do better, or they perform better, they get the better results with the use like without much programming effort. So artificial neural network, you doesn't require any huge coding part. So this is one of the advantage, which is second advantage, as I'm listing it out. So then artificial neural network can also handle varieties and different kinds of problem types, which could be including, as I mentioned, classification problems, clustering problems, association rule mining problems, regression also. So this can be handled variety of the problem types. Then artificial neural networks also have the tolerant of data quality. Okay, tolerant of data quality issues, and they do not restrict the data to follow the normally the independent kind of an assumptions. And next advantage is the artificial neural networks can handle both numerical and categorical variable values. So it can handle both numericals and categorical variable values, and very much faster actually the artificial neural networks are when it is compared to the other techniques of the data mining process. And most importantly, these artificial neural networks provides the better result, more accurate predictions, okay, when it is compared to the other kind of statistical processing models, okay. So these are the advantages, but as I mentioned, for every system, for everything, we'll have pros and cons. You cannot always say 100% or more than 100%. It is always having the pros only or advantages only. So the key disadvantage arise normally. They cannot very be easy to interpret or explain or easy to compute the artificial neural networks. Okay, so they are very much, as I mentioned, black box kind of a solution. Okay, so deemed to be the black box kind of a solution, which is lacking a lot of explanatory things. Okay, and what we could see is uh, they are very difficult to communicate about. Okay, so this is one of the disadvantage, and still the optimal design process is not derived for any artificial neural network. Still it is an art, and it is still the research and experimentation is going on, and it requires a lot of expertise and extensive knowledgeable experimentation. So still it is going on, it's not yet done, it's still an art of research, and this is one of the disadvantage. And it could be very difficult to handle a massive number of variables, especially when we are talking about the attributes. Okay, so because data, big data, we know a lot of massive number of large number of variables, so it could be difficult to process it, it could be difficult to handle it in artificial neural network when there's such kind of a scenario comes. And even it takes large data sets to train the artificial neural network. So this is also one of the disadvantage. So finally, we are concluding the artificial neural networks. So artificial neural networks are one of the frequently and most frequently used data mining technique or a model. Okay, so best predictions can be done, very easy to use, easy to construct, build, everything. Okay, so still we could say that artificial neural networks are the complex systems, because the functioning of the human brain is being imparting or it is imitating, isn't it? It's not so easy, complex, lot of neurons, lot of connectivities. Okay, so they are very versatile enough to solve many data mining tasks with very better high accuracy. But as I said in the last disadvantages when I was talking to you, they are like black box. Okay, so they provide the guidance on intuitive logic behind their predictions. So this is about the artificial neural network. We have come to the conclusion of artificial neural network. So we are stopping at this.